Hello everyone, welcome to Mastery. It's Rosario's Academy. During our previous discussion, we have discussed about bad debts and provision for bad and doubtful debts in detail in two different videos. Here I just want to club into one. If you are given both these two adjustments are shown jointly together in a problem, how it should be treated? In the same way, if both these two accounts are shown on the trial balance as well as the adjustments, how it should be treated on final accounts. So we just want to discuss it in detail. Okay, so here let us get into the problem. Here I have written already, okay, these three ledger account balances on trial balance and two adjustments. Let me read out one by one. So first one is Sunday debtors, that is 1,05,000. Then bad debts, that is 2,000. Then provision for bad and doubtful debt is 10,000. These three accounts are there in the trial balance in our example. Then as far as adjustment is concerned, we are asked to make further bad debts. We are asked to write off further bad debts as of 5,000. Then after that we have to make the 5% provision for bad and doubtful debts. Okay. So this is what the problem that we have given. Okay. So the common rule that we need to keep in our mind that, as usual, ledger account balances would be reflected only once in a final accounts, and the adjustments would be reflected twice in the final accounts, two places. Okay, that is same as always. Okay, let us start the final account treatment. Okay, let me make the P&L rough. P&L format, this is debtor side and this is creditor side. Okay, the general format for to approach to handle these things are old bad debts on the debit side of the trial balance. Okay, old bad debts, then new bad, add new bad debts, then add new provision for bad and doubtful debts. New means adjustments. Okay, old means already the ledger account balances. Okay, so existing bad debts, add new adjustment bad debts, then add new adjustment provision for bad and doubtful debts. Then from the value that we have arrived, we have to subtract the existing provision. So this is what the general format. Okay, as of now. Okay, let us start. Let me write the debit side of the P&L because these things are the business loss for us, isn't it? Bad debts and provision for bad debts and all. It's a business loss. So it is calculated on the profit. Out of profit only it should be, that provision and all should be done. Okay, on Sunday data. So we are making on the debit side of the P&L. Obviously it should be there in the debit side. So 2 bad debts. That is trial balance bad debts. 2,000. Then add further bad debts, that is adjustment bad debts. Okay, add further bad debts. How much? 5,000. That should be added with the existing bad debts, that is trial balance bad debts. What is the total value? 7,000. Then you have to add new provision. Okay, provision for bad and doubtful debts, that is new provision at 5%. Okay, you can write like that, you can write that also. Okay, so 5%, how much that we need to calculate. So total Sunday debtors value is 1,05,000. After that we need to subtract the further bad debts, that is adjustment bad debts. So 5,000. So the remaining value will be 1 lakh. So you need to make the provision on 1 lakh only. There is a remaining Sunday debtors. 5 by 100. Cancel 2 zeros. So 1, 2, 3. 1,000 into 5 is 5,000. So this is what the new provision. Okay, that's required provision, not a new provision. Okay, so just write it out. Add 7 plus 5 is 12,000. Then we have one more thing, that is provision for bad and doubtful debts, that is existing, which is there in the trial balance. That should be subtracted, less trial balance provision. Okay, provision for bad and doubtful debts. Doubtful debts. Provision for bad and doubtful debts. Okay, how much? 10,000. So by subtracting, just put the remaining balance at the outer column. Okay, so 12,000 minus 10,000 is 2,000. Okay, so this is what the treatment at P&L. Why the previous existing provision should be subtracted from the new provision? The reason why is, it is not a new provision, okay, it's a required provision, okay, it's a required provision, because after preparing the trial balance, we are making some adjustments, isn't it? So what we have concluded is, okay, we need to make further bad debts, as well as we need to make the provision up to this value after adjusting this further bad debts. So here the new required value is 12,000. Okay, already we are having a provision of 10,000. That's why we are writing the balance at the outer column. Since the new provision value is higher than the existing provision, normally these two are treated as business losses, isn't it? So since the existing loss is lesser than the new required loss, the remaining value should be written at the outer column of the P&L. Suppose if the existing provision is higher than this value, what we need to do is, we need to subtract these three things from the existing provision on the credit side of the P&L. Just keep in mind. Suppose imagine instead of 10,000, if we are having the existing provision of 15,000, what we have to do is, we need to make all these things here, and from the existing provision, that is trial balance provision, we need to subtract this value on the credit side of the P&L. Just keep in mind. The reason why is, already we are having the provision of 15,000, but the required provision is only 12,000. That's why we are subtracting it from the existing, and since we are reducing, it's an income for us, it's a gain for us, isn't it? Since we are reducing the provision from 15,000 to 10,000 required 12,000, we are that 3,000 is an indirect income, is a gain for us. That's why it is shown on the credit side of the P&L. I hope you understand. Okay, that is why it is treated like that. Then when it comes to the balance sheet, okay, balance sheet treatment is going to be normal. Okay, so this is asset side and liability side. As I mentioned earlier, as I told you earlier, only the adjustments part will be placed at the balance sheet second time, because this we have done, and existing provision that we have done, this have done only one time. Okay, so one treatment is over, so we need to make second treatment. Okay, so second treatment should be done at the balance sheet. So just make the sundry debtors, put it in the inner column. Okay, it should be written under the subcategory of current assets. Just keep in mind, okay, because it is not a fixed asset, it's a current asset. Okay, because it is converted within a year, so it is coming under the current assets. So sundry debtors, how much? 1,05,000. Then less bad debts. Keep in mind only the new bad debts which is there in the adjustments. Okay, how much? 5,000. Write the remaining value, that is 1 lakh. Then less 5% provision. This is what the required provision. How much the required provision is? 5,000. So 95,000 is the new adjusted sundry debtor. Okay, this is what the good debt, because we have subtracted the bad debts and also we have subtracted the provision, that is doubtful debts provision also that we have subtracted, and this is what the good debt value that we're gonna receive, surely that we're gonna receive by the next financial year. Okay, I hope you get it. நான் திரும்ப இன்னொரு தடவை சொல்கிறேன், இங்கே பாருங்க. This is what the required provision. Okay, so the required provision and the bad debts எல்லாம் ஆட் பண்ணதுக்கப்புறம் required provision லெவலுக்கு இதை வந்து என்ன பண்ணுறது, கொண்டு வரதுக்காக என்ன பண்ணுறோம், அந்த பேலன்ஸை நம்ம எழுதுகிறோம். ஓகேவா, அவ்வளோதான். I hope you get it. Thank you so much for watching.